Hey, you guys will appreciate this. You know how I'm always calling people out on stuff. It's just my personality. I'm not saying it's good or bad. So I go into this Indian restaurant a lot and eat, and this guy is a gentleman. He really is. He speaks great English. He's owned different businesses. He was an actual Richmond County sheriff for a while, and a good guy. He runs the fucking place. But most of the help is other Indians that don't speak that great English. Well, if you guys ever look at these Indian lunches that I show that I get, I always get the cucumber salad, and I always get the tandoori chicken or chicken tikka, whatever the fuck it is. It's on the top right of the menu, and because it's been a problem with the salads before, I always point to the picture. This is what I want. Well, like I said, these guys are iffy on their English, but you'd think pointing would take care of that. So if you've ever paid attention to with this dish that I get, it's always about half the size as it was today. So I get this thing. There's two black ladies that are sitting a couple seats from me. I get my thing delivered. Now, he's doing everything today because the waiters aren't there yet. And he brings me, and I've got like twice as much chicken as I usually have. This big, long, rectangular plate rather than this little, small plate. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? And I always order the full order, but I don't really pay that much attention. I always think it should be more chicken, but I'm not like a stickler trying to get every last dime out of a place. So I eat it. It's always good. And I get this chicken today, and it's just tons of chicken. And these two black ladies are there, and they're discussing what to get. This dish takes 25 minutes, so I'm always dicking around on my phone. So I hear them say they don't know what to get. And I got all this chicken, and I already had a bagel this morning. So I said, hey, why don't you guys each take one of these legs? It's like, oh, no. It's like, yeah, do it. And they were super nice women, well-spoken, nice. They thanked me. And I eat the rest of this damn chicken. Well, I'm sitting thinking of this thing. So he comes over. He said, how is everything? I said, well, I got a question for you, man. Now this is true. This is biased. You can call it racism, whatever. I haven't had exactly great experiences with Indians in my life. Just the way it is. It's the way it's worked out for me. From local deals to being a PI, whatever. I'm not saying every Indian's a crook or a bullshitter, but from being on the road and staying in lots of Indian hotels, I found that 99% of the time they were full of shit. So I'm already like biased about getting bullshitted by an Indian bullshitter. Okay? So he comes over, he said, sir, like I said, he's a legit gentleman. I'm not kidding. He says, how was your order? I said, well, I got a question about something. He said, yes, sir, what's that? I said, well, today I end up getting twice as much chicken as I normally get. He said, really? He said, yeah. He said, that happens. And, he's not waiting on me usually, right? He says, well, he said, and then he goes into this big thing how they get chickens wholesale, and sometimes chickens are different sizes. It's like, yeah, I fucking know that, but, so what? Okay, so I listened to this. He said, today it was just a really big chicken. I'm thinking, fuck you, it's bullshit. So I'm sitting there thinking about this, and I thought, I'm going to get in this Indian's ass on the way out. I'm not dropping this. And I look down at my plate, and I eat the rest of it, and I realized that if it's the size of the fucking chicken, why do I have 3 legs in this order? Yeah, I thought right there, typical Indian bullshit story. So I thought, I'll get your fucking ass on the way out. And I'm starting to doubt whether I'm even going to go in this place anymore. I don't want to hear some bullshit story about the size of fucking chickens. And that went out the window. And if that's the reason why I got more today than normally, then why I got 3 fucking legs. Right? So I'm going to give it to him on the way out, pin his ass down. But it kind of clears out a little bit. And nobody's around. He comes over. He said, well, sir, he said, were you satisfied with my answer? I said, no. I think you're full of shit. He said, why would you say that? I said, well, because, I get this all the time. I order full order, and I'm thinking in my mind already, I'm getting this half order, and I'm paying full price most of the fucking time. And I said, and I think you're full of shit. And he said, well, why would you say that? And I said, well, because when I brought this up to you, you see what I get. I get the same thing every time I come in here. And today it's like twice as big. He said, yes, sir, I told you. It's like, today was a big chicken. I said, well, okay. Why did it have 3 fucking legs then? And he said, it's 3 legs. I said, yeah, 3 fucking legs. And I'm waiting now for plan B of getting fucking bullshitted. And he said, 3 legs. He said, really? He said, yeah. And he goes back and he goes to the kitchen. He comes back. And I'm thinking, man, I don't know if I'm going to come in this fucking place, you know. It's just not fun if they're doing this kind of bullshit. So he comes back and he said, I think I know what happened. I said, what's that? He said, those other times you're getting chicken tikka as opposed to chicken tandoori, and it's boneless. And it is a full order, and it is half as much of this. Bingo. That's exactly what's happening. Even though I'm pointing to the thing, I'm getting the wrong stuff. I don't know whether they think I'm saying it or whatever, but I felt good about it when I left. We actually shook hands and laughed because I'm getting 2 different orders. One's boneless, which is half as the one with bones in it, but we laughed about it, and I feel good about it because I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to go back there. I don't want to be getting bullshitted like this. But the guy was telling the truth. We were just talking about 2 dishes. And if it wasn't for his due diligence and figuring out and going back and trying to figure out what could have happened in an honest way, this would have never got resolved. So that's my Indian story for today.